This workshop is an introduction to InDesign, and create a document like a magazine page. You'll add pages and layers. You'll add images and be able to change the design features of the images. And you'll be able to add text and manipulate the design. So once you get into new file, I want you to go ahead and change your units to inches. And we're going to set this up as a 17 by 11 inch spread. And so we're going to do something called facing pages. We'll start out with one page. We can go ahead and leave our columns. We're going to leave that alone. We're going to leave our margins, our bleed and slug alone, and just go with the presets that InDesign has. That might change if I were working with a template that was going to go to a printer and they had specific requirements that I needed to follow. But for our purposes today, you're just going to change your units to inches, and your document's going to be 17 by 11. So I'm going to go ahead and click create.
Okay. So is this used for like magazine pages, like this layout right now?
Yeah, I mean, this could be for a magazine. You can make lots of different things in InDesign. You can make brochures, you can make graphics for websites. But what I wanted to show you before we play around with pages is I wanted to show you how to zoom in and zoom out. These are just little tools that you can use to manipulate the page as you're learning how to do design. So what I'd like you to do is I'm going to actually escape out of this and go into my InDesign program. You can see up here, this is my cursor. So do you see my cursor on the screen? I'm like moving it around.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do next is I'm using a MacBook. So I'm going to hit Command equal, and that's going to let me zoom in on my page. And if I hit Command minus, it's going to have me zoom out. So I want you to go ahead on your page and zoom in and zoom out. If you can't use your keyboard, you can just go up to your menu and click on view, and then you can click on zoom in or zoom out. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So the other tool I wanted to show you is the grabber tool. So this is when you're designing, if you want to just drag your page back and forth or go up and down, you can use your little hand grabber. So do you want to try doing that?
Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Okay. So were you able to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So I just wanted to show you over here, you have your tools on the left-hand side. So we have like selection tool, text, box, our zoom tool, hand tool. And so those are the tools that we're going to actually work with today. And then depending on what tool you're in, your top menu is going to change. But basically what this top menu is will be like the properties of the tool that you're working with over here on the left. Okay. And then over here on the right, these are going to be more of your tools / organization tools. So this is, I say organization tools because this is where you can see your pages. I'm going to show you how to add layers, your links, which will be your links to the images that you'll work with, and then paragraph style for when we add some text. So step 6, I wanted you to go ahead and add a page. So over here, you can see pages. I have it on my right-hand side. What you're going to do is you're going to click on this little plus symbol down here. And so I'll go ahead and demonstrate that right now. I'm going to come over here. And so you can see under my pages, I have 2 pages, and I'm going to add a page. So now when I come back, you can see I have 3 pages. So go ahead, I want you to go under pages and click on the plus. It will actually light up and say create new page. So the next thing that I wanted to show you is how to add layers. And I really like layers because it just helps organize the stuff that you're adding into your document. So the way that you add layers is you're just gonna click on the little plus sign down here, and we're gonna label each layer based on the stuff that we're gonna put in there. So let me go ahead, I'm gonna go back in here. And now over here on the right-hand side, I have layers. Now I didn't see that on yours, so I just wanna double check. It looks like if you go to window, you should be able to open up your layers. So if you go up to the top menu and click window, you should be able to open up your layers. So I'm going to stop sharing. Why don't you go ahead and share and we can do that together.
Okay, yeah, I think I got it. I'll share real quick.
Okay.
Like this?
Yeah, okay, perfect. So now go down to your little plus sign. Yeah, so click there and then just double click on layer 2 and you're gonna name it text. Yep. Okay, and then go ahead and click on layer 1. So just select, yep, and go ahead and label that pictures. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so we've done layers. The next thing I want you to turn on is guides. So if you can't find guides, it may be under window. Go ahead and click on help, and then you're gonna just do guides. And what I want you to do is you're gonna put in 4 for the number of rows and 4 for the number of columns. And you're gonna move your gutter setting down to 0.0625 and then click OK. The other thing that I wanted to point out about the guides is, and I think I've already said this, but it will help you draw straight lines, and it will also help you line up your text and your images. And you'll see what I mean in the steps that are about to come. You can open up your Finder for your computer, for your desktop, and you can just drag the image into the box. But if you can't do that, another thing you can do is, let me go ahead and select that. Yeah. If you can't do that, you're gonna select your box and then go up to your file, and you're gonna scroll down to place. So I'm gonna click on place, and now it's gonna open up my files. And I'm gonna go ahead and select the file that I wanna place, and I'm just gonna click open. I click, and I'm gonna go to fitting, and I'm gonna I can choose any of these: fill frame proportionally, fit content proportionally, or content aware fit. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna try content aware fit, and I kind of like the way that looks, but actually I kind of wanna play around with that because I don't like how my leaf is cut off there. So I'm going to use my hand and just drag that over until I get the look that I'm going for. If I want to play with it manually on my computer, again, this is for a Mac. If I hit Command Shift at the same time as I grip onto the corner, I'm able to go ahead and drag the image around proportionally so that I don't mess things up. And actually, I would really like to, I'd like to rotate this. So we just added our second. Now what we're gonna do is add a text box. So I'm gonna come over here, I'm gonna select my type tool, and I'm gonna just go ahead and draw my, my text box like that. And you can go ahead and type any word that you'd like, but I'm just going to use delicious. And I want to go ahead and change my font. So up here, if you use your little hand to click on the A, that will let you change the font. So you can go ahead and have fun in here. This is where a lot of your creativity as a magazine designer or graphic designer happens, is in your font selection. So when I initially created this lesson or this workshop, I used, let me see, I think I go to, there we go. Okay, so now I have my font, but it's very small. So if I want to change the size, it's very similar to, you know, Microsoft Office or Google Docs. You're just going to select on the size and you can go ahead and play around with that. Since this is a title, I am going to go with a pretty big size. And I'm going to add an exclamation point. And I wanted to just show you one more thing. If you want to change the color of the font, you can go right here. You're going to click on T, and then you can go ahead and scroll down. You can play around with colors. I'm just going to go with blue, but let's say, for example, that I didn't like that blue and I wanted to play with it. You can just double click on that blue. So if you double click it, it will open it up. And you can just drag your cursors back and forth until you see a shade that you really like. So let's see, if I wanted to maybe go with like green, let's see, that's two. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one because I have like a citrus theme there. So, so I have that. And then I'm going to show you something else in just a second. But before we move on, go ahead and select that text, add in your word, and then go ahead and play around with the font a little bit and choose one that you like. And if I was in a font that allowed me to use italics, right here I can change the angle of the text. So like, how italic do I want it? You know, do I want it to be really slanted, or do I want it to be slanted back in the other direction? So you can see, let's see, we'll go back that way. So you can also play around with the font there. But again, I'm just going to set that to 0 and I'm going to put that back. I really like this font, the Gill Sans Nova. Okay, so go ahead and play around with those features and let me know when you're ready, and we're going to do the final step. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the type tool and I'm going to add a second box right in here. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click and I'm just going to drag down to fill with placeholder text. And if I zoom in, you can see it just adds in some text. So go ahead and do that. And then I wanted to show you two more things. We're going to select that text, and you still want to over here in the text to your paragraph formatting controls. And the way that we've always printed the NVS magazine or Loudoun County magazine is we've always justified our text so that it's nice and even on both sides. So if you'd like to continue learning about this, I would recommend that you save. So you're going to go on Save As, and I'm going to just call this Intro to InDesign. You can call it whatever you'd like. And then you want to make sure that you save it as an InDD. So I'm going to save it as InDesign 2022 document. And I'm going to click Save. And when I go over to my desktop, it's in this format here, InDD. So so that's basically that's how you would save it. Now, if I wanted to maybe take a look at it as a PDF, I'm going to go back in here. I can click on Export. And I can just select Adobe PDF Print. and I'm going to do save, and it gives me all of these different options. So you can export it to have a spread, so you have like 2 pages facing each other. I particularly don't really care for that. I like just regular pages. And when we upload the magazine to things like issue.com, this format works really well. And then if you want, when someone opens up the file, if you want them to have it go into full screen mode, that would be something. I really don't want it to do that. I do want to view the PDF after it exports. I am going to keep in page thumbnails. If I had embedded hyperlinks, which that's pretty typical for a magazine or like a web graphic, I would keep the hyperlinks there. Interactive elements, that's when you add things like sound or video. Even though we don't have that here, I'm just going to keep that active. And so pretty much, I think that's it. Standard. Yeah, I'm not going to change that. High quality print. Yeah, that's pretty good. If I were sending this to a printer, I might need to make changes over here for like marks, bleed marks, that sort of stuff. Output, I'm not going to change anything there. Advanced, I'm not changing anything there. So now I'm just going to click on export. And so it's just opening up for me, and this is what the page looks like. So, and then if I didn't want to keep that page, I can just delete it and delete that, and that's my PDF. So that is it for today. Do you have any questions?
No, I'm good.
See you on Sunday then, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, bye. Okay.